Hi, hello, it's Leilani from the Bible in 1 Year. Today we are reading a chapter in Matthew 2, verses 13 to 23. Now, this chapter highlights 3 fulfilled prophecies. Firstly, it's the flight to Egypt in Matthew 2, verse 15, which fulfills the prophecy in Hosea 11, verse 1. It says, "Out of Egypt I have called my son." And then secondly, it's in Matthew 2, verse 18, which echoes what Jeremiah said in Jeremiah 31, verse 15. "A voice is heard in Ramah, Rachel weeping for her children." And then thirdly, the return to Nazareth, Matthew 2, verse 23. This fulfills the prophecy that he would be called a Nazarene. Now, the story of the Holy Family fleeing to Egypt and returning is more than a historical account. It reveals God's providence, His fulfillment of prophecy, just like we just read, and the power of trusting Him in the face of uncertainty. Now, God is faithful to His word. When we trust His promises, we can rest in the assurance that He is always in control, even in uncertain circumstances. Now, throughout the Bible, we see that when the enemy is fearful, he sends obstacles on the path of God's chosen people. And I believe that he sent a potential uproar at the birth of Jesus. And that's why he used Herod to make the decision to kill all the babies. Just in the time of Moses, it was the same as with Jesus. The enemy was frightful of a potential uproar, and he set obstacles in their way. But God is always one step ahead. And Joseph, the father of Jesus, was obedient. He was obedient to the angel's instructions. Trusting God, he allowed God to guide and protect Jesus. Now, this wasn't an easy journey. It didn't just mean, okay, pack your things, let's go on a bus and go to the next possible destination. No, it meant uprooting his family and facing potential danger. But Joseph trusted God rather than leaning on his own understanding. He fulfilled the plans of the Lord by just being obedient. And I believe so many times in our lives we think, why do I have to be obedient in the small things? But I do believe that every choice that we make in obedience has a ripple effect, how it leads and touches the people around us. Now, in our lives, we often face challenges or unexpected situations, but trusting God means to surrender our plans and believing that He is working all things for good, just like He promised in Romans 8:28. Now, throughout this story and this few verses that we read, we see that Joseph's actions followed divine instructions given through dreams, answers from God. And this reminds us of the importance of prayer and listening for God's voice. And when we pray, we align ourselves with His will and open the door for His directions. Jeremiah 33 verse 3 says, "Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." And Philippians 4 verse 6 to 7 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Now, prayer is not just about presenting our needs, but also seeking God's will and trusting His answers, even when they differ from our desires. Now, this few verses in Matthew 2 reminds us that God's plans are higher than ours, and He fulfills His promises. Just like we read, He prophesied, and He came to fulfillment of His word. He guides us in our challenges, and He answers our prayers. Now, like Joseph, may we trust God's plan, align ourselves with His word, and make prayer a daily priority. I want to challenge you that this week we will commit to deepening our relationship in prayer and trusting God with every aspect of our journey. Thank you for listening to me. Until we read together again next week, be blessed and goodbye.